Hello and welcome to Political Bazaar. I'm Viju Cherian and with me I have Gaurav Choudhury, the Deputy Executive Editor, Moneycontrol. Today we'll be discussing NaMo 2.0 and the road ahead. After a landslide victory yesterday, the BJP has around 303 seats and the NDA put together has 350 plus. To discuss this, Gaurav, thank you for coming on Political Bazaar. What are the factors that accompany a landslide victory like this?
So clearly there is only one factor, which seems to be Narendra Modi, and this is a political referendum in his favor. He turned it into a political referendum, partly aided by what the kind of campaign that the opposition actually launched itself into, and it only helped. It now turns it only ended up helping the BJP and Narendra Modi. It became an election. Either you are for Modi or against Modi. It's not even a presidential campaign because there was not a second candidate against Modi. It was a referendum, like either you were for Modi or against Modi, and he won that referendum handsomely. That is what the results are saying. BJP has also, garnered or recorded a massive jump in its vote share, which is not just about seats. They have made heavy inroads into previously uncharted areas like Odisha and West Bengal. Yes. West Bengal clearly is a commendable success story so far as the BJP is concerned. In about 5 years ago, it had a vote share of 16%. This time its vote share has exceeded 40%. Okay. And it's breathing down Mamata Banerjee's neck in her own bastion. It's going to be interesting how politics in West Bengal plays out from now onwards. We are staring at an assembly election, if it's on schedule, by 2021. We have already heard murmurs that some TMC MLAs are in touch with the BJP, and I would not be surprised if the government gets a little shaky there. That is something that remains to be seen. But Mamata Banerjee has a task on her hands. She has to protect that turf. BJP clear is now the number 2 in the party, and I would not be surprised if in 2021.
Number 2 in the state.
Yeah. In the state, and if I would not be surprised if actually fancies its chances to form a government in the state. Odisha clearly has voted in different ways. It had voted for the BJP. It had sent many seats for the BJP. Out of a total strength of 21, about 9 has gone to the BJP, which is again a big jump compared to last time around. But it has again given Navin Patnaik's BJD a 5th consecutive term, which it means is that the voters in Odisha have different views about which way.
They have clearly made a distinction.
They have made a distinction, and it's also endorsing Navin Patnaik's politics and governance in the state, but they think Narendra Modi probably deserves a second chance. And also there was a lot of things that worked against the Congress. They launched into a negative campaign, which clearly did not work, as the results show. They made it a campaign against Narendra Modi, the man. Instead, they should have probably offered a vision of what an alternative style of governance and a framework of policies. That was not to be coming. And clearly their so-called game changer policy of Nyaya, offering to send 66,000 rupees to every poor household did not work, because it was also communication failure. People did not actually relate to that project. So in multiple factors, all of these got together and only helped consolidating Narendra Modi's position.
Okay. In 2014, everyone thought it was a landslide victory. It was a landslide victory. But in 2019, the BJP has bettered what it did in 2019. Do you think this huge jump in expectations, does that bring its own sets of problems?
It does, and the difference between 2014 and 2019 is the 2014 BJP offered hope. It was a challenger, and it ran the campaign on offering an alternative style of governance, as well as policies, which it said, which kind of distilled into one very catchy slogan: "Achhe din aane wale hai, good days." They are going to usher in good days. This time. And that is when people, the landslide actually, they rode on that popularity and that hope. This time around, they are riding on the popularity of Narendra Modi. Okay. Having said that, for any government, any party that wins such a landslide and the colossal margin of victory will come with the burden of expectation is only going to rise.
How do you think the government is going to meet these expectations?
So clearly, immediately, and knowing, going by what the experience of what this government has been, the approach of this government has been over the last 5 years, I expect a lot of activity in the first 3 months or so. So don't be surprised if a 100-day policy comes with very clearly defined and monitorable timelines and milestones. So a lot of activity will you will see in the areas of agrarian distress.
Okay.
They are expected to make the right noises there. Agrarian distress is a real problem, and BJP should not ignore it. If it ignores it, it only end up ignoring it.
In addition to PM Kisan?
That is right. So
Okay.
I would expect there are two big events that we need to watch out for here. One is the budget, which is probably going to take place in the full budget is going to be presented in the first fortnight of July.
Okay.
And I expect a lot of noise and a lot of policies to be, or at least the government is going to announce its intent on various areas, including what it intends to do to deal with the structural problems of India's farm economy, as well as how does it intend to create jobs for the armies of hopefuls that are joining the queue of job seekers every year.
Now let's turn to another major point that everyone will be discussing, and I've already started discussing, in fact, is the government formation. The existing cabinet needs to be dissolved, a new cabinet needs to be formed. Who's going to make it, who's not going to make it? More BJP leaders from 2014 have actually won.
Yeah.
In fact, if you look at it, the big names. And the biggest of that is party president Amit Shah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of speculation. Will he remain party president or will he be a part of the Modi cabinet?
So that is something that is going to be the biggest news story after these elections, after election results, whether Amit Shah is going to, and this time he's won Gandhinagar with a record margin. This was one seat where L. Advani used to contest. So if Amit Shah joins the government, and if he's given a very important portfolio, then it means that, one, he cannot become the party president because
Yes.
the BJP has a convention that you cannot be the minister and a party functionary at the party office bearer at the same time. So if he relinquishes his his position as the BJP president, and whoever replaces him will have very big shoes to fill. Amit Shah's success has been as an election machine, and he has delivered state after state, state after state, election after election. Anybody who replaces him has to emulate that record and has to better it eventually. And they are running into three big states, three politically important state elections in the month of October, less than 6 months from now, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and Haryana. They have done quite well in the Lok Sabha elections in all these states. They would like to repeat the performance.
Jammu and Kashmir also might.
Jammu and Kashmir also. So I would not think Amit Shah would become the president, would relinquish to be the party president and join the government, but you never know because portfolio formation, the selection of the Council of Ministers is going to get very interesting now.
Now let's come to another part that a lot of BJP ministers who contested this time, some of them have actually lost, like Hardeep Singh Puri, Alphonse Kadanthanam and Pon Radhakrishnan from Tamil Nadu. These were performing ministers, they were performing ministers in the cabinet, the outgoing cabinet, and they have lost. What do you think would be?
Yeah, some of them could probably be accommodated through the Rajya Sabha route and be given portfolios. But the question here is that to what extent BJP will be able to, the Council of Ministers actually is a representative of a national footprint, and that is very important. More than anything else, in politics, symbolism is very important,
Yes.
and the BJP would be very well aware of it. The Prime Minister would be very well aware of it. So, and BJP, since it's almost a national party now, and it has footprint all across the country, barring probably Tamil Nadu and Kerala, it would like its Council of Ministers to represent the map of India in the strongest manner possible. And also, it is also about the selection of the portfolio and allocation of the portfolios, how each of the states are represented in terms of portfolios as well.
Now, another question that everyone will be having in mind is the NDA allies. In 2014, the BJP, crossed the halfway mark on its own, and it has bettered its tally this time. But yes, there are NDA allies as well, about 50 odd seats the NDA allies have. And do you think a bigger and stronger BJP would actually overshadow the allies this time?
I think the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as Party President Amit Shah, will be aware of taking of the allies along so far as the Council of Ministers is concerned. Two of the three allies, in fact, three of the biggest, strongest allies have been very long-standing ones. Shiva Sena in Maharashtra, the Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab, and also JDU, barring a couple of years in between 2013 and 2016-17. They have been with the BJP for
Shiva Sena also for a short while.
For a short while. They have been with the BJP for a very long time.
Oldest time.
Yes, and a large part of the success, and not large, a significant part of the success that the BJP has achieved in this election also is because of the allies' performance in their respective areas. Say, for instance, the NDA has swept Bihar, and Nitish Kumar, a large part of the credit will have to be apportioned to Nitish Kumar and his style of governance there. Likewise, Shiva Sena has won a large number of seats in Maharashtra, and they're getting into elections in less than 6 months from now. So keeping this alliance together, making the right noises, and also presenting a united face when they face the assembly elections in 6 months from now is going to be important. Shiva Sena will be probably given very strong, important portfolios, and Shiromani Akali Dal may not have won as many seats as they would have probably expected. But as I said, it has been a long-standing ally, and they will end up probably getting an important portfolio.
Thank you, Gaurav, for your views. It'll be interesting to see how, in the days ahead, the cabinet formation, who will actually make it, who will not make it, how the allies are accommodated. There's going to be a lot of development. For all these developments, stay tuned to moneycontrol.com.